In this challenge series, we create the fastest cars in the world in an alternate history timeline. What could have been if the Duesenberg family had continued their crazy legacy? Will we be able to continue in their footsteps and manage to break all top speed records while remaining profitable as a company? Let's find out in Automation, the Car Company Tycoon game. For more info about this challenge and the series, make sure to check out the description box below. And now let's get into it. Hey guys, this is Kirob speaking, and today we are back in the fastest car in the world challenge. And we have already made it to 1992, and today's episode will be all about designing the second to last car already, car number 7. In year 2002, and you might wonder, what kind of specs does this one have to have? Well, I can inform you about that, and this is 431 kilometers an hour minimum speed for at least one of the trims, and that is 268 miles per hour. And for all the other trims, we will have a minimum speed of 414 kilometers an hour, and that is 257 miles per hour. Our real-world competitor in this episode would be the Shelby SSC Aero TT, and that one had 1,183 horsepower. Anyway, so things have been going well. We are building as many tachyons as possible, and in 1997, our new car comes online. Alright, the yearly report is online and we have a profit of 137 million. Things are going really well. And let's take a look at the economy, because that one was... no. Okay. It's not going completely insane yet, but you can see Farina overtaking Achana. And yeah, there was this crossover point down here, and now it's over here again. So Farina is recovering while Achana is stagnating. Kind of what I expected, really, with the Farinian market to being down in the gutter for so long. Also, I think it is time for us to heavily invest. Is this maybe a bit too heavy? No, not quite, because we will be making so much money, and we currently are making so much money that it's fine. I think it won't take long to get to 5 and 6 in bottom end and top end, respectively. And I think I want to upgrade our aerodynamics as well. And for that we will need all the sales from the Tachyon. Factory upgrade shouldn't be all too expensive. We have been staving off the costs for the engineering so far with a lot of still profits, so I'm not overly concerned. I can produce a few more cars though, as we seem to be overproducing the engines. And another yearly report, and with all the research going on, wow, that hurt. Like 100 million of costs at least in profits, but we are still making profits. So let's check out the R&D. Yep, things are going well. I think another year of running this, and we should be at our targets, and then we can reduce it significantly. Oh wow, now we have been bleeding cash big time. Ouch. That's not too good, but I think we are almost done here. Oh yes, let's hope. Yeah, no shit. This means that we are not at the correct place. We have to run one more month. If it doesn't turn red when you get it to the exact number, then that means you are slightly below. It would still increase, so yeah, that's too bad. But that's just another few million. We can afford that. Just about. Okay, let's correct this now. This saves us how much? Let's see. So 30.5 million. And now it's just 18. Wow, that was a massive investment going in there. Still running the aerodynamics. I want to get to potentially +6. Ah yes, we are getting closer. And just a loss of about 60 million. Not too bad. And what does the R&D say? We are beyond 5 now, so I can... Should I amp it up again? Yeah, for the final stint, I think I really want to have +6 aerodynamics. That makes the car and the engineering much more affordable. Especially now, you have to think in the way that Every month of engineering now in the final stretches of the game is super expensive. So if we can cut it down by having an additional point in quality or tech pool, that reduces our engineering time by a lot, like 4 or 5 months, which easily is 100 million. So that is rather significant. Oh, I think we're having an economic upturn once again. Let's take a look at the markets. Oh yes, everything is starting to look green again. So the short little downturn here wasn't too bad. Farina is coming up big time now. This was a minor correction. I think they are going to explode now in a massive upturn. Gasmia maybe not quite so much as Farina, and Achana will be very weak in this upturn, but we are not selling to them anyway. We are selling the cars with fuel they don't even know of. Oh, and one thing I'm seeing here is that we have plenty of engines lying around. Maybe I should just reduce the engine factory numbers significantly so that we can use them up before the next model starts being built. So let's do this real quick. And another year's gone, as well as the Tachyon DB5 has been cancelled for the factory upgrades 6 months ahead of time because of the medium factory reconstruction. And we didn't have much stock, unfortunately. That was a bit of an oversight, but it should still be fine. We made a loss of 170 million roughly, and we go here, we have a little bit more to go before we crack the Aerodynamics 6. And yeah, looking good so far though. Let's take a look at how the new car is selling. And there we have it. And it's sold out. Yes, it did. Oh wow. Okay, this is looking good. Profit 48 million. And the factory cost a whole lot to build. Just checking the R&D. Yep, very good. So let's fine-tune this a little bit and jump ahead to the next yearly report. And we have already sold 133 cars of the DB6X. And I need to get rid of these ones. Sell for scrap. Yes, 2 million. Thank you. And that means we can shut down this production and to not completely get punked by its reliability. Alright, we just passed 6 in aerodynamics and we are going to keep it there. I want to build up a little bit of a war chest in finances before designing the next car, and while this one is going so well, wow, we are selling so well into these markets. And a net loss of 133 million. But we are now making massive amounts of profit from this one. Monthly profits of 54 million almost. This won't be lasting for long, and I already see our reputation increasing once again. Look at this! +9 reputation and +10 prestige. I think that was a good build. Let's see what happens in the coming year. Also, it might be worth checking just what kind of segments we are selling into right now. And that is shown here. Well, we are covering everything that is relevant, I would say. And even the bigger markets of the GT, Light Sports Premium and Family Sport Premium. Let's take a look at Gasmia. And basically the same there, but the Muscle Premium category is just amazing for us. 550 cars sold there. That's massive. How large is it in Farina? Oh, a 10th. Not that large. And there we go. That's looking much better. A profit of 364 million this year. And that is a fresh year without any ongoing costs apart from maintaining the R&D. Maybe if it's design year 2002, we can invest into more of the aerodynamics. I think I'm going to do this. R&D, let's make it expensive. Let's go to 8. Yeah, 8. Exactly. So that we get to 7. And we made it into the year 2000. We had a net profit of 217 million. You see how much the R&D is costing us here. But prestige and reputation have normalized to the new levels, and they are pretty good. Reputation of -1.1, that certainly isn't too bad for a hypercar manufacturer. And I think the prestige rating is telling the story of this company. And there we have the yearly profits, even though we are investing heavily into aerodynamics. This time around 277 million. And pause it right here. How's our... Oh yeah, we almost used up all the engines. We've already sold so many, 144,000 of these cars. There are some speedy citizens in these two countries. And we just cracked the 7 as well, so we are ready for the next iteration of our car. At least when it comes to tech. Let's hope for the best, that we have a nice body available to use for the high speed. Otherwise we will have to resort to violence and cram in some kind of 2,000 horsepower, fully turboed massive engine. Oh yeah, and here we have it. Oh shit! Yeah, that was a pretty good year. Almost 500 million in profits, I would say. And we have a comfortable cushion for the 7th car we are making, the 7th model in this Let's Play series. And we just cracked 20,000 points! That's almost a viable car manufacturer. Yeah, pause it here. And I think it is time to design the car for this challenge. So if you haven't designed your car already, this is the last chance. Go ahead and design a car for in year 2002 that breaks 431 kilometers an hour, and all other trims need to at least crack 414 kilometers an hour. So let's see what we have here. I think the record-breaking car, as per usual, will be this one. Yeah. Look at it, it's super aerodynamic. Can we make it more aerodynamic? Yeah, look at its wing. It's massive. This will be fast. No, but really, I think this one is the prime candidate, but because look at its frontal area, it's tiny. Oh, something's going on here. This is not right. This is not right. The effective area should not be larger for this car. We could, of course, also go for this one, but that's not quite as aerodynamic as the new one. Yep, this one is better. Also, body year 2002. Perfect. The question is just, like, how much of an engine can we fit into this one? Questions over questions. Let's first morph it a little bit. So now for the chassis material, and I think we don't really need fancy stuff here, but high strength steel might be in order, just to get some higher prestige ratings and such. It needs to be competitive, after all. So, yeah, let's see. Mid-transverse or mid-longitudinal? Rear longitudinal, no. I think this one had a pretty large engine bay, especially when it comes to mid-longitudinal, and we are going wishbone, double wishbone. Oh yes. This is a pretty large engine bay. I don't know how much V12 fits into there though. Alright, now we have plenty of cooling and it's looking very grim. Oh, this isn't the front, you say? Oh, damn it, I messed this up. So what do we do about the engine? Let's see how much of a V12 we can fit in here first. No, it doesn't look too promising. 4-liter V12 won't get us to 431 kilometers an hour. Unless we massively turbocharge it. But then the problem becomes, how are we going to get to 414 kilometers an hour without a massively scary turbo too? So, yeah, that doesn't quite work. How much of a V8 can we fit in though? Yeah, a pretty large one. Pretty large one. So we could fit in a 6-liter V8 and probably turbocharge it like crazy. But a 6-liter V8 doesn't get us to 414 kilometers an hour. Oh shit, this won't be easy. This won't be easy. We do have the best components available though, so Titanium I-beam steels, or titanium I-beam, not steel. Titanium steel, that's weird. Lightweight forged pistons as well, and we do have more tech pool, obviously, since we researched it heavily. Let's see how far this engine gets us without any crazies. I don't think very far. And we do have direct injection available. Oh shit. Height is a problem. But no, not really. We can go for performance. That's not an issue. But maybe we do not want to go with direct injection because that is engineering time extremely long. But on the other hand, if this is a V8, if this is becoming a V8, then that should save us some time. Although we are losing a slight amount of familiarity. Okay, yeah, this engine doesn't get us anywhere. 642 horsepower. And let's put it in there as a placeholder for now. Oh, shit. Do we need better? Oh, that hasn't happened often to me. So yes, we actually do need the billet steel one. And wow, it's actually complaining about that this part is restricting airflow. Oh shit. And in a significant way too. So let's just build the car for now and put everything in place because we know what the car is supposed to be. And then we adjust the rest. We do have a little bit of familiarity with the geared LSD limited slip diff already. So I think I'm going with this one. And mags once again because of all the familiarity. It's amazing. The good thing about 19-inch wheels even is that we can fit massive brake discs in there that are soaking up all the heat. I don't think we are going to run into much of a brake fade problem here, even though we are aiming for crazy top speeds. And let's start by undercooling the car to 400. Yeah, kind of. We kind of need to. And then put all the quality in here, plus 10. Fully clad, obviously. And let's see how fast we can get with this one. I think this one will already reach some pretty good numbers. Somewhere around 370, maybe? Well, that's far off the mark. But it's a start. It's a start for a placeholder. And now engineering times will become insane. With electronic stability, traction control, anti-lock brake system, because we have chosen to now run just rear-wheel drive. And the advantage of that is that you have much less transmission losses compared to all-wheel drive, and more engine bay space. So those are advantages that are pretty important, but that also means that you will get more wheel spin because you're only driving the rear axle. And let's see, so our stats are amazing already. Let's tune them for something normal, because they are usually going overboard if you tune them crazy. So it does want to have less front tires. Yeah, but the rest seems to be, no, the tires were fine. It was the general suspension setup that has messed up. So I shall fix that. Oh yeah, this is much better. This is a high-speed cornering, and here we have the low-speed cornering. Very, very good for the sportiness. And the brakes are somewhere beyond the moon. That wasn't intended. Ah, this is much better. Alright, yeah, the driving stats are all fine. The prestige is good, but now let's take a look at the... Oh, this is decently fast. What? What? How much? How much? Wow, okay, this one already reaches 410 kilometers an hour. 410? Oh, that's kind of awesome. So that means we can probably push this one to become our normal, non-turboed one that has to reach 414. That's not too far off. I mean, if we just increase our quality here by one step, should be almost there. How much? 414. Okay, no, that wasn't quite enough. But this would be. And, now we are slightly undercooled. The reliability. The reliability. Let's see how much more we can get out of this engine, though. Okay, a few little tweaks and we are at 716 horsepower. That should help. Oh yes, it does help. So we can now, with this plus 12 aero, how much is this effectively? We have aero at 7. 7 is free, so we have just 5 steps beyond this. That isn't too bad. Just going 5 steps beyond what you can have. That's like a... This plus 12 is now like a plus 5. And we are reaching 419 kilometers now, which is probably limited by... Oh yes, it is. How fast are we actually going? 420. Okay, 420 blazing it. Oh yes. Alright, yeah, we are almost cooling it enough now. Almost. Just almost. 455 or 509. Let's see if we can get even more power out of the engine. So I see the tricky part here is actually going for race tubular. That would be an easy way out. 760 horsepower instead of 720 more or less. So yeah, it's 42 extra horsepower. 42 extra horsepower, but look at the numbers. Well, engineering time is not an issue really, but the production units are. This is not an engine you want to be mass producing, and we need to be mass producing this car because it's our run-of-the-mill car, which has a premium version that is supposed to sell to everyone. More or less everyone. Even more. But look at the headers! They just don't want to deal with this shit. 740 horsepower, very, very linear delivery here. I think I might be going with this. Reliability is looking decent still. So now let's check. This doesn't tell us anything yet. We need to change something before it recognizes it. And yes, okay. We are... Oh, we even got more drivability for that because we have a much more linear power delivery here. Very linear in rising. And what can we do here for the cooling? We need more cooling, but we also need more top speed. Can we go one step more? Yes. Alright, 61.1. I think that is a reliability that we certainly can live with. And the engine itself is at 66.2. Oh yeah, this is not an issue. For a V8, oh, finally we got to use a V8. That's a kind of a change here, but it's still very large, 6.2 liters. So yeah, it looks like we just created our luxury model. And we can make the premium straight away. Then the struggle will become to somehow make this a 431. Was it 431? Yes, it was. 431 kilometer an hour car. And I don't know if we can make that completely naturally aspirated. Maybe. Oh, probably we can. Probably we can. Oh, let's think about that. Okay, so all the names are given, and now I shall just quickly make the premium version. Alright, there we have it. No changes needed, really. And let's take a look at the markets. Oh shit, everything's green. Yes, everything is green. And I still have to change the name to P, but just look at all this green stuff everywhere. Still an excellent super and hypercar, but light sports premium and even light sports. Wow, this is cheap. This is really cheap. The V8 helps. The V8 naturally aspirated even. So let's see if we can push this one to become the new champion of top speed. So what I'm going to do is to clone the DB7L and then make a clone for the engine as well. And let's have a look at the engine. What can we do here? I mean, first of all, what comes to mind is race exhaust. So we have 744 horsepower here now. And these are just crazy in the way of things. So Engineering time doesn't go up much. So I think I'm going to invest the like 1.7 months worth of extra engineering time to get these to work for me. And then I can rev slightly higher. There we have it. And raise exhaust, so 800 horsepower out of this one. Do we need anything else? Can we go even higher here? Not really, but it doesn't really matter, does it? So 802. And maybe some more ignition timing. 103, yep. Nope, that is knocking already. And we just need to sell in Gasmir. So we can go with 98 fuel. And that means we can give it even more compression. And actually it doesn't really want to have more timing. So this is pretty much perfect. 808 horsepower. And now we need to up the exhaust, I think. Oh yeah, 823! That should be enough for the top speed, especially if we undercool. So let's go with this. Reliability is still somewhat decent. And yes, look at this. We are already hammering the 431 here. But somehow we are pretty shit in super and hypercar. Anyway, let's amp this up. And where are we? 431? Is that it? Is that it already? Was it that easy? Let's check these numbers. Why is it so shit all of a sudden in the prestigious markets? Oh, the fuel choice. It's the fuel choice. But that is Farina. We don't care about Farina. We care about Gasmir, and look at how green it is there. It's the ultimate hypercar. But what is our top speed? It's not quite there. Not quite there. And this is severely undercooled. No, not even that severely. It's not too bad. Really isn't too bad. So we can easily get there by just going plop plop. And now we have 433.8. I even can up it by one. Yep, 432 kilometers an hour. Oh, wasn't that easy? So now we have a car, which is the DB7X, and this time out, we started out with the reasonable versions. Worked out beautifully this time around. 432, and I don't think the last car should be all too difficult then. 450? Yeah, depends on the engine bay, really. If we can put a large enough engine in there, then it should be good. But we haven't conquered the whole thing yet, because the important thing is the engineering. But you know what is missing still? Well, we have to send it out on the test track. So let's take the 7X and see how it does. And, well, even though it isn't all-wheel drive, it has pretty good acceleration, 0 to 100 and 80 to 120. Not quite as brutal as our 80s car, I think, but that was unbeatable with all the... Did it have all-wheel drive as well? Can't remember, but anyway, it was stupid fast. Or stupid brutal. No, it didn't have all-wheel drive. It had a pretty slow 0 to 100, and then it was just ripping apart the road. Okay, let's get going. It did reach 300 exactly on the straight again, so this one is actually just as good as the 1984 version of the car, but it has so much more top speed. You can see how little it is struggling up there when it's coming towards 280. It's just straight, just continues accelerating, no worries. And now let's get to the scary... Oh fuck. Yes, that isn't quite as good. 7 years? 7 years. Maybe I need to settle with 6.5 years instead. Oh, and the engine isn't troublesome at all. Yeah. Oh, now he's back to having a portrait all of a sudden. So this is 4.7 years only and 415 million. So I can reduce funding a lot, which really helps. 5.5 years, 6.5 years for that one though. Ouch. And our reliability, yeah, we can. I think I'm going to go with a lower reliability car instead. 6 years. And we are going to use our standard plant. Hopefully it's going to produce enough cars. And what can we change around here? 73 cars a day. Sounds about right. 60 engines a day though. Arrgh, and now we need the CNC shop. Okay. So our engine factory is undersized. No way around that one though. That's too bad. So now let's set this one up. This one can only really sell in Gasmere. I lock the production right there. And then, yeah, let's produce equal amounts of both of these. Matching this one to the car. It's all good. And, whoa, so green. Everything is so green. And the more reasonable trim here. Yeah, still scoring super well in these segments. And the premium should be good as well. What kind of price does it have without the markup is my question. Wow, okay. It would actually sell into light sports if we don't mark it up. Yeah, that is a good base price. Okay, 140% markup, and we are still selling massive amounts. And I assume the economy will still be very good in Gasmere, or even better than currently, once this car is getting out onto the market. So I think we are all done here, and 12 months until break even. Now, that's great. There will be some costs coming at us here. $12.5 million of engineering each month, and 56 million for the factory once that one kicks in. 6 months before, as per usual, and let's sign off on this. And this is going to be an amazing little project. The Tachyon DB7 is coming your way, but that will be in the next episode, so I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.